Is this the most forgiving putter ever? Let's find out, and let's do it now. Hi everyone, James Robinson here. If you're new to the channel and this is your very first time watching my content, first of all, welcome to the channel. Second of all, please make sure you do consider hitting that subscribe button before you leave, because on this channel I bring you guys golf related content every single day, hopefully to help you raise your game, generally to help you lower that handicap, but mainly just to get you enjoying golf more than ever before. Now, as always on the channel, I want you guys to be a part of my videos, and I want you to comment below, guys, what kind of putter are you currently using? Are you using a blade? Are you using a mallet? Or does it just look like it needs an antenna on the back like this one here? Now, let's get back to the video. So guys, as always on the channel, when we talk putting, we consult our putting guru, sort of ish, kind of, Chris. So Chris, talk to us about this putter. It is an Odyssey EXO 2-ball stroke lab with micro hinge technology. I can take a breath now. There's a lot of technology in this thing.
Yeah.
Why would you say this is a forgiving putter to start with? What is a forgiving putter? Should we all use forgiving putters?
Again, it'll be different when you get fitted. You might suit something with, you know, it is bigger. Again, it has more MOI. It's moved the centre of gravity further back just to help give you more forgiveness.
So similar with a driver.
Yeah.
We all know what a forgiving driver is, don't we? The MOI is back, CG is not forward, because the MOI is back, and that promotes obviously a more forgiving strike and a more forgiving driver. So if you miss it out the middle of the face, or you miss the middle of the face, should I say, you don't lose as much distance. Obviously with a putter, we're not worried about losing distance unless you tee off with it. But what would we lose from a non-forgiving putter?
Again, if you think from roughly 6 feet, if you are 1 degree out.
6 feet, about.
Yeah, about James. On his stool.
Or not, yeah.
If you're 1 degree out from 6 feet, you're going to miss the hole. So if we have an off-centre strike and the putter face is slightly open, this will help us get it again closer. You know, it's going to make it strike still be okay. The distance control better, hopefully, which we'll see shortly on Capto. And again, just give somebody who's beginning the game, someone who struggles with pace, struggles with strike, this is something that certainly might help you out as compared to the conventional blade.
So essentially, rather than losing distance off the tee, you're just going to lose consistency not only in the line towards the hole, but consistency in your distance control as well.
Yeah, exactly, and that's something then which brings in potential 3 putts. We all have them, unfortunately, but this is something that could help reduce those 3 putts.
We better test it, don't we?
Let's get it on.
Let's get it on.
Let's get it on.
Chris, what are you doing there apart from checking out if your coffee's gone cold?
Cracking cappuccino.
It's a good cappuccino here, actually, so yeah.
So what we're doing is we're going to get it loaded onto Capto. So we're going to calibrate the putter. So again, we're going to get all the data that we want to see. So we want to see if it's an off-centered strike, which James might be prone to. Is that going to affect it, and how much does it affect it? We're then going to get a mallet putter or a blade, and we're going to compare it. So if we do get an off-centered strike, what's the difference?
So essentially what we're going to do is, I'm going to hit bad putts on purpose, which I don't normally do on purpose. I normally just hit bad putts, to be fair, and then we're going to check the energy loss, because that's how Capto works. Because that's how Capto works, isn't it? We check the energy loss. And can we also check how the face gears as well?
Correct, yeah. So we can see how the gear effect will change the strike, change the ball.
And that's how the face opens and closes.
Opens and closes. What percentage of energy do we lose? Are we going to lose a lot of energy, which then again brings into your distance control and your accuracy, or will it help us lose less energy and again make us more consistent?
And I should say as well, I was going to, I wasn't going to, but I could have used a different putter than this. There are obviously other putter brands out there. There's Scotty Cameron, there's Mizuno, there's TaylorMade.
TaylorMade, there's Ping.
Ping, obviously Ping make great putters. But for me, this, I don't know if you agree with this, but this is one of the biggest putters I've ever seen. Minus the, do you remember the old 3-ball that, to be honest, was a little bit of a, well, it looked silly, didn't it? But
the 3-ball was a little bit silly.
Yeah, but it felt like a conventional putter. As soon as I got it through to review, I thought, this looks massive.
It is. It does feel very big compared to, I use a Half Moon putter, also an Odyssey, the Rossi. again, over the ball it looks very big. For some people that might mean, you know, it looks bigger, it's more forgiving.
Yeah,
you know,
more
it's the
confidence.
same with the driver.
Yeah.
If you had the old-fashioned drivers with the tiny heads, do you feel more confident or do you feel less confident?
Right.
I certainly will be less.
I think we've done enough talking, and I'm sure you guys are thinking the same. So let's hit some putts. Let's test this putter against a more conventional putter, shall I say, a more old school putter, more of a blade style putter, and let's see just how much more forgiving it is scientifically, and if I feel any more confident with it. Okay, so what is the plan, Chris?
So we've put down the box of balls here so that we're going to set the ball that is out of the toe of the putter. So we're going to make sure that the strike is off the toe. Again, we're using the half and half ball here to see how it might affect the spin coming off. So we'll see if it's going to affect it to have cut spin, hook spin, or if it still comes off quite neutral. So I will get the film. There. Good.
Oh, that's gone right. Good roll though.
Roll was pretty
Roll
good.
was really good. I'm impressed with that. Well, is there anything in this? And guys, you might kind of have heard this before. Fast downhill putt, hit it out the toe to take the sting out of it. Is that true or is that a myth?
Again, some people will try and hit it out of the toe so it comes off a little more dead, so there's not as much speed into it. But if we can control speed better, I would always suggest centre strike if possible.
Short stroke.
Shorter stroke, and we'll be able to get that speed.
Same again?
Same again.
Oof, that fell awful. But again, it's like kind of holding its line a bit. Distance
Holding
is
its
good.
line, distance is good, it's on 15 feet.
I literally felt the putter face just move a little bit when I struck it out the toe, so it'll be interesting to see what the numbers say about this. Okay, so we've tried it out the toe. Obviously the next ball of call is going to be the opposite side, the heel. I don't have a shank to putter. I personally haven't, but I think you have, haven't you?
Oh,
I've seen you duff a few putts. But...
not a man of Michael either.
So I'm basically going out the shaft near enough.
Yeah, pretty much. It'll look different.
Oh, felt horrendous.
Oh, straight in now.
Straight in.
Left edge.
Is this showing already the forgiveness behind the putter, or is this just, obviously it's a flat face anyway, it feels so bad, honestly, it feels horrendous.
It feels terrible, but you can see how with this effect of having a high MOI helping with any kind of off-centre strikes, it's actually still getting the ball to launch pretty much on target.
It's going to be really interesting to do this with a less forgiving putter and see what the difference is.
I mean, the distance control there, every single one has been within a foot pass, so it's still reached the hole, which is 15 feet.
Thank you.
Pace control, wizard.
Okay, so same again, out of near enough the shaft.
Same again.
Notice how none of them have gone straight at the hole.
Yeah.
Like usually, what are we here, we're 15 feet?
15 feet.
15 feet, usually on a flat lie inside, you'd be making a few of these, wouldn't you?
On a straight putt, yeah, again, from here, your average is going to be probably 1 out of 4, but those have been now tap-ins, okay? If we might see with the other putter, that might have left us 3 or 4 foot.
Yeah, come out a little bit dead. Right. So, numbers out of the heel and out of the toe with the EXO 2 ball.
Yep.
Thoughts, Mr. Coach?
First was the strike off the toe, okay? So, again, a lot of good things in here. For James's stroke-wise, you know, face is very neutral, everything there's a lot of green.
I've been practicing, Coach.
He's been practicing, he says it'll tell us anything, folks. But the biggest thing, obviously, what we were looking at today is how much energy we would lose. So, we've lost 23% of the energy going into more depth. You know, the biggest loss here is from torque of obviously where it's hit the putter. So obviously off the toe, you can see there it's lost 18.2%.
That's quite a big example of how the face is geared around, isn't it?
But we could see from those putts, okay, they did finish a little bit to the right. but again, there was only a foot away.
And the big thing, sorry to interrupt you, the big thing that we've just looked at off camera is how the ball actually set off. I'm going to put those on now.
Yeah.
We were amazed, weren't we, how the ball set off out the toe and out the heel.
Yeah, so it came off very neutral, okay? It didn't have too much cut spin or too much hook spin, which was a surprise to say where it was struck on the putter.
I did a very good job of striking it badly, didn't I?
It did, it's like you're used to it. So we can see there, that was the one off the toe, so we lost 23.1% of energy. If we now look at the one off the heel, again, stroke-wise, a lot of green, so that's very good, tempo is good, everything. But we can see here, energy-wise, we lost 21.4%.
Yeah, interestingly, just 17.2%
off the heel strike, yeah, so a little bit less, 1% less than what he lost off the toe.
But still way more than you would expect. So to put this into example, when we did a putting lesson the other day, I think I was losing 3 or 4%. And we were saying that was quite a lot for what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah, so we're losing 3 or 4%, I think it was, which again we want to get down to losing as little as possible. So you can see that is still quite a lot. Well, it's a lot, you know. It's
nearly a quarter, isn't it?
Nearly a quarter of the energy lost throughout the putt. But surprisingly, the distance control was still good.
And one of the big things that we can't kind of test is we've done this knowingly out the toe and the heel. So subconsciously, have I hit it a little bit harder? I don't think I have, but you can't really tell that, can you?
No. We can see that the tempo was good, so his rhythm was back, but he may have just made a little bit of a longer stroke to account for it. So that is something that... So, let's now put this into play. We're going to load up. We've got a different putter.
We've got what looks like I've never got on with these, ever.
It's a bit of a Phil Mickelson special.
Yeah, so it's still a Odyssey. Still got the micro hinge face technology.
Correct.
Trying to keep it nice and fairly consistent with that. Still got the Super Stroke grip on there, so still mid-sized grip.
So again, this is something now, O-Works number 9. Let's see how something with a lot of toe hang, how if we strike it here and here, what we get.
So toe hang relation to the one we've just hit, just do that test with the one we've just hit so we can just show people the difference in toe hang. Because this has a lot to do with kind of inertia and MOI, doesn't it?
Correct, yeah. So we've got a face balance putter here in the XO2 ball. And we've got a toe hang here in the O-Works number 9.
Perfect.
So that's going to have an effect on the rotation of the face. So again, how is that going to impact any off-centered strokes?
Let's find out, aren't we?
Let's rock and roll.
And let's do it now.
Oh. Coffee's gone to my head, got checks.
Okay, so coffee cup's looking emptier.
Certainly cold.
So
I know that.
Putter looks just about ready for action.
Yeah,
on the
just get the
Cacto.
loft and line. Okay. Locked and loaded, so...
They'll be the same loft, will they, I would think, with them being the same...
Exactly the same loft, yeah. Which...
helps for our test.
Yeah, Odyssey's quite consistent. How did that feel?
Horrendous, actually. That's taken me a bit by surprise.
Different to the other one?
I don't think I hit it as hard as did the other ones, but I don't think it deserves to be 5 foot short.
No.
44% energy loss.
So, first one, nearly double the loss in energy, so that might explain.
And that makes me feel better because that's not necessarily down to how hard I've hit it, is it? That's just it's lost the energy. Okay. Still 40%.
So still 40.6. Okay, so let's switch it around. Now let's do the heel.
Now I would suspect that the heel won't lose as much because it's closer to the shaft, so it should be fairly consistent, but we'll see. Definitely feel more vibrations up the shaft with this. That's actually done better, hasn't it? Oh, that one came off at a tangent, that came off the Odyssey level, I think.
Okay, so a good representation, that's come off the heel as far as you can probably get it.
44.1% energy loss, which is, well, double, isn't it, near enough?
Pretty much double, yes, give or take 2%. So yeah, you can see how felt like he struck it off the toe, exactly the same as the 2 ball, but on that first putt, 44% of energy lost, and we lost 5 feet in distance.
It was a bit embarrassing actually. I was quite taken aback.
Because we've got these two here, which are separated by 5 feet, and we only reached the first false hole.
And we've all missed a 5-footer.
We certainly have.
So if we're looking at how much the face is kind of geared open, rotated, and potentially like missed that hole by about a foot,
yeah,
that's not really. That's what I expected to see, but it's not really the case, is it?
No. So what's happened there is we can see that we've actually lost all the energy in the toe strike. So you can see again, very similar to with the 2-ball, we lost 18% of the energy in the strike being on the toe. You can see here, the same strike on the toe has given us 43%. So a putter there that's got less MOI is now giving us a higher number of energy lost through that strike. So through that, we lost distance.
Yeah.
Okay. So although it might be a putter that you've picked up and you've got, you know, if you strike it out of the toe, you could be at a disadvantage to as if you had a 2-ball, something with a higher MOI. So let's now look at the heel.
Yeah.
So the heel strike. So heel strike here, again, if we look at that number, the number that we're looking at mainly is the energy lost. Again, it was 21% from the 2-ball. We've now lost 39.7 through the heel strike.
Which is still a lot, isn't it?
Which is still a lot. Okay, so almost double from the previous putt.
Which, to be fair, I absolutely didn't expect that much. I mean, when I got this putter through to test, I thought the initial thoughts were, it doesn't look great aesthetically, it doesn't suit my eye, it doesn't please my eye, but I thought it must be forgiving, it must give people more confidence, and I think we've pretty much proved there. And we've done this as far as we can, obviously, unless it's kind of machine testing. Yeah. There might be some kind of idiosyncrasies. Well, where that is.
Tell you what, it's at the dictionary this morning.
I'll tell you what, there might be some little, it was the right word as well, wasn't it? There might be some little idiosyncrasies in there for the test. We're really clever now. But we've done it as far as we can. We've used as similar putters as we can whilst using as different putters as we can for the test. I think one huge thing is, it shows how important getting fitted for a putter is as well.
Yes.
If you're a beginner, if you're a high handicapper, if you don't hit the middle of that putter face very often, that's obviously you're going to need something like this more.
Yeah.
But for you being the putting coach, putter fitter, things like that, is there anything you've seen there that you'd like to kind of comment on? And
again, it shows how fitting is very important. You'll get fitted for drivers, irons, but with a putter, for something like that, we can see, okay, if you're hitting it off the toe, you know, you might not need a putter. You might need to work on hitting it in the centre of the putter with what you've got. It might be technique, but if you can get a putter that's fit to start with, you're going to have a lot more chance of holding putts, having better distance control, and overall being a better putter.
Get lessons.
Get lessons.
Also, guys, I would like to say as well, huge thank you to Chris for getting us down here. We are at Waterfront Golf Club. If you would like any help with your putting, ping Chris an email or a tweet or an Instagram. I'll put his information at the bottom there, because it's obviously helping my putting. You've seen on my videos recently how well I'm putting and how much I'm enjoying it, and luckily I don't have to use anything quite that big yet. However, I'm using a TaylorMade Spider X, which is probably a similar idea.
Very similar idea, yeah.
Guys, thank you very much for watching. We do hope you've enjoyed that. We hope you found it, to be honest, I'm a little bit mind blown, but I didn't expect that much.
Not that
I expected it to maybe a couple of % difference and then leave saying, yeah, well, this is more forgiving than that, but it's a huge difference. So if you don't hit the middle of your putter very often, something like this is going to help you. Guys, thank you for watching. If you're new here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button below. Give Chris a follow on Instagram, because he posts some funny stuff.
Oh, you better believe it.
And if you have enjoyed that, leave us a like. Hit the comments below. What putter are you using? And as always, we'll see you tomorrow.